Well, Chris, we want to thank you because the foreclosure was postponed
Terrific.
for more than a month,
Yes.
and so we have a chance to get heard,
Yes.
and we're going to follow through with it. And
See, they're celebrating. Do you hear that?
yes, they're celebrating. Have one on us. Now we're going to go serve Robert McDonald, Rocky, with Quality Loan Service of Washington. We're going to serve him the Liz pendants and the lawsuit, so he has a copy, and that will help him to fend off any people that would say, "What are you doing?" You know?
Yeah, I think he needs to tell his advisees to go pound sand. This is just wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at the King County Administration Building in beautiful Seattle downtown.
And this is the place where they're threatening to auction your home tomorrow.
That's what they're threatening, yes.
And what are you doing today?
We're going to file a Liz pendants with the King County Recorder.
All right, Liz Pendants, you hope will do what?
We're going to file that with the trustee and have him hopefully cancel the sale.
All right, so we get to the bottom of this.
That's right.
Let's go.
Okay.
My name is Christopher King, and I make movies about the human condition.
You see a lot of destruction. You see a lot of villages being burned, and you know people are being killed, and you shoot into bushes and you hear screams and you know people have been hit. But to see someone get hit with a high velocity steel jacket round designed by people to kill other people, there is no more obscene way to die.
That is the Liz pendants right back here.
Let me see it.
I don't apologize for the way that I felt, but like how I went about things. I was like, it's never mad at you.
I understand you drew blood, did you?
Yeah, one of the staples caught me,
Let me see that.
and it got over some of the paperwork.
Oh, I see it there.
So there you go. Bloody papers. That's what it is, bloody papers.
They've been precipitating a lot of blood and carnage in other ways, so they might
Blood,
as well.
carnage, demolition, devastation.
You made it through Vietnam, now you get to this, huh?
Yes. Yes. That song 19, I would recommend people listen to that because it really brings back all the memories. It brings back the horrors, it brings back just the questions of why was it worth it? Why did we do that? You know, I knew a lot of guys that had 1 week to go and they get shot in that last week. That was heartbreaking. I mean, one of them was a friend of mine's brother, and they were going to have a huge party for him when he came home, and he was done 2 weeks before he went home. I mean, it was just.
Billy came back from Vietnam, just a shadow of a man. He was a shadow of a man. When he came back from Vietnam, he was spraying that Agent Orange on the foliage of the land out of 80-gallon cans way back in Vietnam.
A friend back east was a medic in the field, and he just, you know, I mean, he saw everything. He saw the horrors, and he would take detached limbs, throw them on the helicopter, you know, just bodies that were just blown to bits and but still breathing. He just saw all of the blood, the guts, the horrors of war, and he was only 19 as well, and the average age of veterans over there was 19.
They fought the longest war in American history. They all saw heavy combat in Vietnam. Although they were all decorated for heroism, none of them received a hero's welcome.
Hi guys,
Hi, Chris.
how are you today?
It's a real challenge.
I'm sure it is. Step this way and tell me what happened in here today. First, who are you, sir?
Michael Levitz.
Mr. Levitz, what are you doing in the U.S. courthouse today?
I'm filing an adversary proceeding related to my Chapter 11 bankruptcy case.
Okay. Now, in this case, I understand, first of all, that you had MERS as a beneficiary on your document.
Originally, yes.
Okay. We know that that's illegal pursuant to Bain. That's the first thing.
Yes.
The next thing is, I understand, back, was it in 2009, you were in a position to pay off this alleged loan, were you not?
I was.
And what happened then?
The bank closed their offices down and didn't tell anybody.
Okay, what bank was that?
Chevy Chase Bank.
And you have documentation, I think you showed me, where there was a transfer, the entity was being bought off by someone or something?
They were merged under Capital One, so they moved from Laurel, Maryland to McLean, Virginia. They had been set up, or they were a subprime unit, and they went under.
Okay. And then furthermore, I think I saw documentation where there was a case that contained an affidavit that said that one of the trusts involved, it was a Libor Series Trust 2005, didn't even exist.
That's right. There was an affidavit, witness testimony as to why they were trying to change the security name, the name of the securities, and the fellow testified that the original trust did not exist. So they were actually suing people on the name of something that did not exist.
And then furthermore, you had a case out of Florida, Maglione, I believe, where a motion to strike one of their assignments was sustained, and thereupon the case settled based on this whole issue.
That's right. That Florida case I was very lucky to find because they had just started an online a docket service just weeks before, and they did settle out of court. They dismissed the case with prejudice, and again, it was the same type of situation where they were representing themselves as trustees of a non-existent trust, and then they tried to change it to an LLC, special purpose vehicle.
And then I also understand, lastly, there's another issue you told me about. I believe it was, the fact that the other trust was not registered with the SEC.
That's right. The trust, or the special purpose vehicle, the LLC, was not registered with the SEC, but yet they are thought to be a mortgage pool. As a matter of fact, there's evidence that they are. Well, there's evidence that they are claimed to be a mortgage pool, full of mortgages.
And I understand you're a U.S. veteran, are you not? Vietnam?
I am.
What was your rank there?
Well, in Vietnam, I was just an enlisted, but as I progressed through the military, I got out with the rank of lieutenant.
Honorable discharge?
Honorable discharge.
And you were 19 when you went to Vietnam, were you not?
Yeah.
Just like the song by Paul Hardcastle says.
Yeah.
None of them received the hero's welcome, did you?
Oh, I don't, every time I see things about that, it chokes me up.
And you're certainly not getting much of a welcome from your lending institutions, are you?
What's happened is beyond comprehension. It used to be a very stable mortgage market. Now they had so many failures and so many different parties picking it up, and some of them are quite fraudulent. And it's difficult to sift through who is real and who's not.
So you're in BK court now, you're in Chapter 11, filing an adversary complaint, and you're going to file a lis pendens to stop the foreclosure tomorrow, correct?
The lis pendens is a notice that there's a lawsuit now filed, and there should not be anything that would happen to disturb the present situation until the case is heard.
And I understand you're trying to raise a young son while all this is going on, are you not?
I am, yes.
Brilliant young lad. Yeah, we'll have to get the doggies together and play again some more. That's terrific.
Yeah, they're great together.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Levitz.
Thank you.
And try to take you home, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power to get you counsel and to keep the situation on the forefront so that people can really see the kind of filth that is being perpetrated by the mortgage industry, of which I used to be a closing attorney. I'm ashamed to have been involved in that role. I'm doing my best now to help correct my wrongs.
A lot of people are ashamed, and I hope that there's some legislation in the future that will stabilize it and get the standards back. And they were totally lost during the financial crisis.
Indeed. Thank you for your time, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
they just saw money and that's all they wanted.
Yeah. Let's go on in.
Yeah. Here's
Okay.
the bad part. We need to call him.
Yeah, we got to get an entry.
So how do we basically?
Well,
do
let's
this?
see what we can do. Find a name, then push the thing. All right. Any luck?
So, we're closed for the day, so he...
Actually, I can just email this to him. So.
Okay.
Do that.
So but Brock, he won't process the file. He won't just take the filing. I mean, we don't have to go up. He can just take the filing.
Possible?
Yeah, that's possible.
Terrific. We've been out here all day. You know. Yeah.
Hold on,
You
let
got
me
the
just-
case number there, Michael?
Yeah, let me
Very
just
well.
take this in. Oh boy, they're up to the 18s now. 01,000. I think I'm the first one of the year.
What were you just saying about their methodology?
I think that they pick out the defaults where the people are not really equipped to fight back. They don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed, and so they're very hurt, but they leave the field and they abandon their homes. Is what they do. Whereas if you have somebody that can really dig into the documents and dig into what transpired, and you come up with things, you can get them if you've got those things, and you've got good friends like Chris or really powerful attorneys like Scott or somebody like that. You can get them to a point where they're going to settle, but don't let them walk away, because that's what they do. They start and they stop, start and stop, and they pass this off to somebody else. So you've got to pursue. Once they try to walk away, you've got to pursue them and pin them down and try to get a settlement.
Yeah,
I think that's the way it works. It should work.
That is how it works. It's been a pleasure working with you. You did the yeoman's work, and every now and then I hopped in and found something valuable for us. And
There's the salmon logo.
you know, some theory that the journalists have to be neutral. No journalist is truly neutral. And I'm, based on my experience, I shouldn't be neutral. I ran a freaking title company. Why should I be neutral when I see these transgressions?
You're rocking it.
Neutral doesn't do it. You have to choose sides. If you're neutral, you're irrelevant. Really.
Of course, a pleasure to meet you, sir. We're signing off for tonight, guys. I'll be making a movie later on. And that's it. Kingcast Mortgage Movies. Peace.
I looked at this guy, asked him what to do. He'd been hit right below his eye. The side of his face is blown away. He wasn't falling, he was just standing. And he kind of half turned and fell. And he kind of half turned and fell. And then we came back and we were different, and everybody wants to know, God, what happened to those guys over there? There's got to be something wrong somewhere. We did what we had to do. There's got to be something wrong somewhere. And people wanted us to be ashamed of what it made us. What did we do it for? All we want to do is come home. Was it worth it?